Good morning, Sunday morning. Well, I picked up this at the Jewett City Flea Market for $5. It's not from the guy that had the radios. He don't seem to have radios anymore. He just has a lot of junk. So, nothing of interest anymore. But this was from another vendor. $5 for this. It has batteries in it, so that's not always a good sign. Turn it around here. It's an RCA RFG Richard Frank George 45E like an Edward RCA. C batteries. Of course I don't have any C batteries, naturally. That's the one battery I don't have. We put a power pack on it anyways. They're not leaking. At least these two aren't. Ever-ready transistor battery. Not leaking. Every one of them's in good shape, so that's a good sign. It's got a decent-sized speaker in it. A fairly easy circuit board to work on. So we're going to see if I can power this up. There's the battery connections right there. Four C cells. So we're going to examine this off camera so I can get my face right in there and see if I can put a couple of clip leads on there and apply 6 volts. Alright, this battery holder appears to be held in with 2 Phillips screws down here. Not sure if it's a number, no, it's a number 2 alright, but it's not even fitting in there right. No, it's supposed to be a Phillips, but it sure looks like a Phillips, but it's not fitting in right. May have to try to get these out and put a standard size screw in there. This battery holder I'm trying to get out so I can check it out and also get at the connections to apply 6 volts to it. I'm not sure. Guess it's held down with little brackets on there. Let me get a small flat blade here. Maybe I can open that with a, yeah. It works better with a flat blade here, down here. There's one of these screwdrivers I bought last week for $1 a piece, made in Germany. They're odd Phillips. They seem to fit good there, but it doesn't fit good here. Well, good enough, I guess, to get it out. Alright, now, am I still in camera? I guess so. We made a video of the Jewett City Flea Market, well, Tommy did. And that's easy enough to do. That's an easy one. Should be able to apply the voltage to that. The spring looks good. There don't seem to be any corrosion. It looks like a copper plate at this end with a little button in the middle of it. The screws go in here. So let's apply 6 volts, and I have my power supply, or I have this, which was the battery for Uncle Dorkle's eyes originally, until I changed it over to a complete 12-volt system. So let me see if that battery has a charge still. It should. Last time I used it is on that Sencor capacitor meter. Makes it easier. I could use my power supply too. 6.2 volts. Okay. Alright, we're still recording. Okay. So let's apply. This is the positive. Supply. Six volts to the copper plate. Positive. So connect the negative to the back area. Nothing. The tuning condenser works. The dial string works. It's one of the first things I check for before I even pick up a radio, is to make sure that the dial cord is working. There don't seem to be any noise at all. There is a click in the speaker as well as the mechanical sound of the radio. So let's put my meter back on. I'm sorry you can't see the screen. I want to just see if it's pulled down the battery, which would tell me it's got a short. It seemed to make good connection. 6.19. Well, it's not pulling it down all that much from the 6.2 that was on there before. So there's a little tiny click. Let's see. We got the volume all the way up. We just probe around. One thing good about the transistor sets, you don't have to worry about getting belted. Not from these things. Seems to be pretty silent. Dial cord works. Let's see what this is. Golden Trotter. 8 transistor Golden Trotter. Nice looking dial on it. The volume shows you numbers here. On off switch works good. I cleaned this with Windex, but there's some dirt in the inside. So I'd probably wreck it taking it apart, so I'm not going to do that, to clean the inside of the glass. The grill has got a cold feeling to it, which means it may be metal and not plastic. In other words, it's cold. If it was plastic, I don't think it would feel cold like that. In other words, metal would stay cold. I think this is actually metal all through here. Chrome. It's probably needs chrome polish. volume control looks, the tuning control looks original, and the dial works good. I thought I heard a little noise out of here, but it must have been the dehumidifier, which I have going very faintly in the background. That's probably what that is. So other than a click when I put the battery on and off and turn the switch on and off, that's all it is doing. So I'm sure it's got a bad transistor. It probably needs electrolytics and stuff. But I don't think I'm going to tackle it, because it's a lot bigger than some of them I've worked on, but transistor stuff I don't like working on. I picked it up in the hopes that it would be something simple. It could even be a break in the circuit board or something. We don't know. The back is kind of sunk in a little bit. You probably can't see that on camera. It's a little bit caved in like. Not a bad radio at all. It's nice. You know, it's strictly AM. Yeah, if you look at the back, it's got a little bow in it. Not bad, but you know. I mean, it's only cardboard is what it is. No corrosion there. Back of the tuning condenser. Let me just see if I can see anything obvious on the circuit board here. Sorry if my ugly head is in the way, but this is the way I have to work. Looks like a little soldering flux here and stuff. Oh, I gotta move that Phillips just to get at my alcohol. A little rubbing alcohol in here. Clean it up. I put the battery compartment back in, and I put some longer leads on. So this is the negative. We don't knock the battery over every time we're trying to do something. We'll lay it down here, and we can stand the radio up. Makes a click in the speaker when I turn it on, but that's it. Probably that thing I'm hearing up there. I don't hear anything out of the radio. Probably an open transistor. It could be electrolytics. Well, now I'm hearing something when I'm moving the tuning condenser in this area here. Just a little tiny faint static. Very, very, very faint static. Volume's all the way up. Can you hear that? I'll try not to talk too loud. There's somebody talking in there. Okay, I got the signal tracer probe that I made up here. You're picking up open hum now because I don't have it shielded here. This is the audio. I'm checking for the audio output stage.
Ready? You can listen to the mic through your local or through the...
Alright, that's the volume control, I believe.
Yeah, the number is 188.
The handle's right in the way here. Right in the way. I can tell you what all that noise is. The dehumidifier. I'll unplug it.
It's a prize pack worth $51. You can check it.
Okay. Alright, so we're picking it up off the volume control. Trying to read off the speaker here. We might have an audio output transistor problem. So we're getting a signal here and a louder one here at the, I guess this is the volume control here.
Tell me something. How up does the ramp you're trying to accomplish, or just kind of describe the layout to me?
Yeah, it's 5 steps and a half.
Debbie, as much as I'd like, there's
Well, we're not sure. I loosened the screws on this. We gotta unplug this. Very sensitive, but it's all from here. Because you see, when I short that out, you don't get that. Alright. I loosened this. I don't know if I'm in camera or not. I loosened this board, but I'm wiggling it and I do not see the dial pointer moving, which tells me that the dial pointer is separate from the printed circuit board, which means I'm not touching it. I pull this out, it'll probably pull the dial string right off the damn thing. I do know the speaker's separate from the board. There's a Phillips here, 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 and here, and there's a flat head screw here, flat blade screw, which is, I think it's a mounting, but I also think it's an adjustment. So, I can't take this board out without destroying some stuff here. This is a Phillips here that would hold the chassis in. Alright, there's one right here that holds the printed circuit in. What I'm going to do is remove these Phillips screws, which have that powdered look to them that they all seem to get on these vintage radios, and I usually put a little tiny bit of 3-in-1 oil on any metal parts that have that type of corrosion to neutralize it. I guess I'm in camera. I'm only taking these out to see if this chassis will move a little more. I gotta be very careful I don't knock this camera over. I can put these back in, that's not a problem. Well, I think I can. I just dropped it down inside the works here. Now let me look over here. You can see the, oh, you can't see it. See, I moved the chassis. Alright, and pull the knob off. But the pointer is separate. So, in other words, I pull that chassis out, I'm going to lose my dial cord, my pointer, and everything else. You're hearing a faint hum. It's from the signal tracer. It's up really high. I didn't think that was going to be a problem. It looks like I got a problem removing screws here that I shouldn't remove. Let me see if a magnet This is magnetized. Better put that back in there. I don't know what I'm doing. I lose things. I leave it alone. Alright. Leave it alone. I already dropped one screw down inside. Let me take the battery connections off here. See if I can get that screw out. And I heard it drop, and there it is. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, Charlie. You don't know what you're doing. It looks like the end of the board is chipped off. No traces, but where the corner screw was. Now, it's nothing I did. I didn't force it out of there. We're not going to mess around with this. You leave well enough alone. I don't know how something comes apart. We'll leave it alone. There's that dial cord. Good, I got it in there. We got two more screws here. This one I think is right there. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, Charlie. Leave it alone. You gotta wash it from something. It's a fiber washer. Where did it come from? From there, I think it came out of here. I think it came out of here because it's this particular screw goes right in between two traces. So there's a fiber washer that goes underneath this. Good luck, Charlie, getting it in there. That's better. Now there's one in the corner here, which you probably can't see that, but let me take you in closer. Right here, the corner of the board is knocked off. Now obviously was not done by me because I loosened up all these screws and gently moved the board, and it moved a little bit, but it seemed to be hooked on this. I loosened this only a little bit and then it tightened up again. I think that's an adjustment. I don't think that holds it. I think it's these screws here, this Phillips right here, this Phillips here, this Phillips, and this one, which I'm going to put back in, but it is not going to hold anything. Definitely something wrong, but I'm not going to pull this out, because I did not see the bezel on the front here move. Only the pointer moved. So in other words, you got to work that pointer out. And it looks like it's stuck in a slot. See that? In the middle, it's upside down, I know, but you should be able to see the orange pointer, and there's a horizontal slot that goes right across from left to right. So the pointer is probably a T-shaped. So you'd have to turn that sideways. How the hell you do that with this plexiglass here? You wouldn't be able to. In other words, I destroyed a thing. So we leave well enough alone. I think you all know me well enough now to know that I will not attempt something. Here is the screw still on the end of the screwdriver. Let's see if I can do this. I can't look through the viewfinder to do this on the camera. Okay. It's not holding anything, as you can see, because a piece of the circuit board came out. All right. Yeah. I think you know me by now. Very, very faint. So it could be the audio output transistor, but I can't get this board out without destroying the dial. In other words, this dial will never work again if I take this out. It can't be done this way. Because if you look at that, I don't know how well, if at all, you can see that. I apologize. I can't get good camera action. I'm not a professional. I'm a half-ass shoemaker. Yep. So I think we're going to forget this one, folks. But I got it because it was $5, and I was hoping it would be an easy fix. If I could get the chassis out, it's big enough that I could probably replace the electrolytics. That's not the problem in this, because the printed circuit board's quite large. It's 8 transistors, according to this. So I think it would probably be not too difficult of a candidate to repair, but I can't get the PC board out. There'd be a lot of wires. There's a lot of wires connected to that speaker. There's at least 6 wires on that speaker. Not all of them are for the speaker, but there's a terminal board on there, and the earphone jack and all that stuff has to all be unsoldered. That's too small for me to work on. So we're gonna hang this one up, folks. Nothing new with me. I'm always giving up. But a man's got to know his limitations, as Clint Eastwood would say. And I know my limitations. So, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 connections down here, and you got a bunch of connections here, but the whole earphone jack would probably come out as one unit with the, you'd have to pull the speaker too, but that's not the problem. The problem is the dial. That's always been a problem with me. Dial cords and dial pointers. So folks, there you be. Without the batteries, I would say it weighs about 3 pounds maybe. Alright, that concludes that. And no, I don't want anybody fixing this for me. No way. If I can't do my own repairs, I might as well give it up. I'm just not attempting to do it. I am almost certain that I could replace the electrolytics in this. I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure. I'm never 100%. And the transistors, well, that's a 50-50 chance.